When you're cutting around obstacles on site, all you need is a petrol-driven disc cutter, 12-inch blade, or just a 9-inch grinder. Will do the trick, a battery-driven or a 110 volt. So all you do is basically, if you've ever fitted tiles to a wall or floor and cut those tiles around the pipes or plug sockets in a kitchen or bathroom, then you're in the same place as cutting around decking, around obstructions on site. It's as simple as measure twice, cut once. So you can see here from the videos and pictures herein, the fitters become accustomed to measuring appropriately from the area that you want to avoid to the point, the depth of that obstruction, and you cut the deck accordingly. It's as simple as that. There are ways, and obviously decking isn't as permeable as tiles or straightforward as tiles, to a wall. But all you got to remember is the decking needs to have structural support underneath it. So wherever you're cutting around, just think, is that going to have sufficient support underneath it to stop the deck from deflecting or flapping around too much? We have minimum hole requirements that if you just ask us, we'll send you a data sheet on that. But if they exceed the 300mm minimum requirement, then you need to start thinking about trimming steel depending on where those holes are. So there are little tricks that we can use on site, and we can teach you and help you determine whether that's appropriate or not by using L-shaped flashings that we have, and we can supply. You can nail to walls or beams, and that can take up the perpendicular side of the decking. But when the ends of the deck are compromised with support, the minimum bearings have to be respected. So steel work, you need a minimum bearing of 50mm, masonry, timber, 75mm. Each end minimum bearing you need to think about. So if you are cutting around a column or a beam and it's quite a big girth, you need to think about putting an L-shaped structural angle on the ends for the deck to pick that up. 50mm minimum. Alright, other than that, we use end caps to seal off the end of the deck, and we can form those end caps to suit the splay or the shape of the cut that you've done, and then just seal up the 5 to 10mm gaps with expanding fireproof foam. I think when you're cutting any decking, it creates galv sparks, so those galv sparks can fly off and land in places. You need to be mindful that if it settles in anywhere that's flammable, some sites unfortunately have insulation or fiberglass all packed up on pallets beneath the area that we're working, and we ask people to remove that. But if you're working on a supply only contract and you've not got a lot of experience with metal decking, then please remember that the sparks fly off and they can settle in amongst those flammable materials and catch fire. So do be mindful of who's behind you when you're cutting, and also what's underneath you, as the sparks will come down through the floor and onto the areas below. So be mindful of that as well. But cutting around obstructions, any unexpected design changes, voids that appear, you know how it is in construction. It's really easy to cut and shut the deck around those obstructions accordingly. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the material you see in the video, and I hope this is helpful for you. If you've got any questions, then please ask. Just submit a form or make a comment.